Well, that didn't take very long now, did it? Can you guys hear me tonight? Can you guys hear me this time? Make sure you guys can hear me before I start rambling off. Anybody? I have a nope and I have a yes. I can hear you perfect. Thank you guys. All right, new severe warning in effect now. We actually have a camera that I'm trying to get pulled up here. I'm working on it. I was able to get one screen back, but not my other fourth one. So I've been watching the storm on the Paw camera. That's going to be courtesy of the Great Lakes Pondscapes there at the Red Arrow Highway. And there is likely very large hail falling with the storm, as well as some pretty gusty winds. We had there's a windsock in the bottom of the screen that was just whipping as the storm went through. It was very, very intense. So it went right over our Paw cameras. You can see here on your screen currently. I'll circle it for you. This is our camera right here. So it took the brunt of this hail core here, and there's actually emergency vehicles that are moving up, flying by on the camera here. This is the third or fourth one I've seen so far. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm trying to pull this in for you guys, but I'm not sure why it's not working. There we go. Maybe this will work. Okay, yeah, there's a look. There's another emergency vehicle too. That's crazy. But this is the backside of the storm as it's moving away to the northeast. Quarter size hail is your hazard with this, and I would definitely say it's pretty well verified there with what I saw on the camera and what's here on the radar. So I'll leave that in the bottom left of your screen. We'll take the Portage camera here in a second, but I do want to go over areas impacted. Almena, Alamo, Pine Grove, Mentha, as well as Cooper, Doherty's Corner. And there's another emergency vehicle. That's like the sixth or seventh one I've seen. That's crazy. Anyway, the hail core is over Almena currently, moving up the Kalamazoo and Van Buren County line, heading up toward Alamo. Going to stay west, or should stay west of downtown Kalamazoo, but there is another storm up there in northern Kalamazoo County, up here by the Richland and Parchment areas that have popped up. That's going to be up to the northeast toward Prairieville and Berry County. So we have several storms to track here this evening, and I'll go ahead and take a look at the camera up in the Portage area, and this is going to be looking west down West Nage and I-94 areas. So we're looking right at that storm. You can see the lightning is pretty prolific with this, almost constant lightning. Hazard with this storm is just quarter size hail. There is no severe wind on this storm by any means, per the warning, but I will say there is some gusty winds, likely 40 or 50 miles per hour, for sure that is occurring with this storm. I just freed up my fourth screen, so I want to get this going here. So bear with me as I box this up. This is done. If you guys are just joining us and you didn't catch the first stream, I was using.
Hey Ryan, you got a copy?
I was using only 2 of my 4 screens because I'm updating camera stuff on my end. So I got screen number 3 back. I'm about to get 4 back. But Nick is now talking to me on our rapid radios here. Nick, I can copy. Go ahead. Decent hail core over Almena now. Tracking this off to the northeast. Alamo is on a direct collision course with this hail core, and these is likely producing quarters for sure. Let's go ahead and turn on our hail tracker here. There's some velocity there too, so it could be some wind as well. But the hail tracker is 18 minutes old, so I cannot utilize that. How about the correlation coefficient? Not much there as well. So we'll keep it right here. We can definitely see the hail core there highlighted in that purplish pink color. I'm going to plug my fourth screen back in here, so bear with me just 1 minute here as I get this situated. There we go. Unplug that. I got to reroute this back into my main computer. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, there we go. That should be all plugged in now. That should pop on. There it goes. And I'm now operational with 4 screens. That's what I wanted. So that worked out just perfect. All right. I copy. All right, we'll leave the portage camera up in the bottom left of your screen, located at West Edge 94, looking west directly into this thunderstorm. So that's going to be our best view at the current moment. Let's check to see if our chasers are out. I do not see any currently. All right. All right, tracking this back, only severe storm currently is in the Kalamazoo, northwest Kalamazoo, and northeast Van Buren counties. This warning is in effect for 35 more minutes. That puts us at 8:45 p.m. expiration time. Hail is the main hazard. There is some velocity with this storm. That means that the radar is picking up some, whether it's severe or not, I don't know, but there is some wind with this being displayed.
Yeah, I got it. You're trying this on now.
So as this moves off to the northeast, Plainwell will be in the path of this. Otsego, Alamo's in the warning. And we're going to be taking a peek at this as it continues off to the northeast. Text of the warning says moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. The hazard is quarter-size hail, and the source is radar indicated. Another area and pockets of storms that are popping up here down by Niles, as well as up here by Keeler and Decatur. Also got a storm, like I mentioned at the start of the stream, up there in the northern Kalamazoo County area, near the Richland area. Let's see if the hail tracker is updated on this storm. It is, and looks like Almena took a direct hit from the hail core here. And that is going to be moving up into the Alamo areas here as well. I'm going to go ahead and put, you guys are not in the warning up here yet in Allegan County, but Plainwell, Otsego areas are on deck for this if this continues, which will likely continue for about a half hour more. But in the meantime, this is going to be moving very close to, it's kind of expanding to the east here. So downtown Kalamazoo, likely going to be impacted by at least some heavier rain, perhaps some small hail, but the core of the storm should remain to the west of the downtown area. It should ride very closely, probably to, it may impact the Westwood neighborhood up there and probably continue up toward Cooper and perhaps toward Richland and Otsego Plainwell area. Zooming out here, there is nothing to the north here in the Grand Rapids Metro. Radar is clear. There are some showers over here on the east side of the state. Those should not be a huge concern at the current moment. The only area of interest is going to be down here with the current warning in Van Buren and Kalamazoo counties. Velocity on this continues to suggest that there could be some gusty winds with this storm as well. The warning is only for quarter-size hail. It says winds less than 50. Winds less than 50 miles per hour is the main concern or secondary concern with that. There is a wall cloud report on Spotter Network, one of the products we use. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Nick here. Nick's asking me. Nick, I do see that report. I do have a camera on it. I have not seen any wall cloud with it.
I really don't see anything like the show. Anything that now.
So Nick is out chasing us as
I
well.
see a lot of peso sport boys up there. Not
Look at the comments here, guys, trying to catch up. Is it true you shouldn't take a shower in a storm? Technically, there is a risk of electrocution. If lightning were to strike a pipe or a pipe, it can travel through and it can electrocute you via the water. I have heard that. I believe that is true. It's only due to the current of electricity that travels through the pipes. How is Kentwood looking? Kentwood is all clear. Like I said, for anywhere north of Allegan and Barry right now, anywhere north, like in the Grand Rapids area, radar's clear. Radar's completely clear. That hill tracker here continues to show that core impacted Almena directly, waiting for an update on this as it continues to the northeast. You can check the radar here. The worst of it is over M43 and 652.
I see something in the foreground. Give me a second.
Also want to take note, could be some small hail up here in the Richland and Richland Junction areas heading toward Hickory Corners. Hail tracker on that is definitely not as impressive as the one over there in Allegan County. Also want to take note of these two storms across the border into Indiana. This one has a pretty potent gust front on it now. It's Outflow boundary. Got some good gusts there heading in toward the Kankakee and Knox area. Also, this storm up in the Elkhart area is pushing into parts of Cass and St. Joseph County pretty soon. So those are worth keeping an eye on as well. But for right now, the only severe storm currently is going to be in Kalamazoo and Van Buren counties. This is the tower camera in Kalamazoo currently, facing to the north. Got some good lightning action going on there. In the bottom left of your screen is all of our cameras. We've been watching the Portage camera there for quite some time. There it is again. We're going to have Allegan, and we have no cameras in Barry County at the current moment. So anybody from Barry County wants to sponsor a camera, get in touch with me directly. We could use some Barry County cameras. Hastings, Irving areas. Would be nice to have some.
Yeah, I got a wall cloud. I see it now.
So our chaser, Nick, reporting back to me. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not in the background, but I got my radio here. Nick is reporting a wall cloud with the storm, which is typical of weekly rotating storms. Again, there really is no risk today for anything tornadic, so we're not too concerned for that, but there could be some weak rotation in the upper levels of the atmosphere that don't make it all the way down to the ground. We'll take a look at our cameras across the state. I do see the Battle Creek camera here now in the bottom left of your screen. That's looking southwest toward this storm. Got some lightning there. This is courtesy of the Battle Buddy Mobility Transport, located in the southern part of Calhoun County, or should I say the western part of Calhoun County, sorry. So distant lightning there for sure. The Portage camera, courtesy of Visiting Angels of Southwest Michigan. Appreciate those guys for sponsoring these cameras, giving us these views. The severe storm is located directly over M43. It's probably past that by now, heading up into Cooper and Alamo areas at 131 and Business 131 Junction, probably just west of the Westwood neighborhood. That was a nice bolt there. We have hail in Almena. How large is the hail, guys? How do you send videos in? You can do it two ways. You can do easiest way is to message us directly on Facebook. Second way is we have a group dedicated to weather reports and damage reports. It's called Michigan Weather Reports. That is what the group is called. Join the group, or if you're already a part of it, make a post, submit it, and that'll go directly to us. We can take a look at it. Please include time, location, and report, please. When you do make a report, be as detailed as possible. That'll help us a lot. This is a very potent hail core continuing up into the Alamo area. This is likely not going to impact the Grand Rapids Metro. No. Storm is going northeast at 25 miles per hour. Got a couple hail reports with this storm. I'm going to check these out real quick. I got P size and I got P size. So we have some people reporting P size hail just south of the Almena and Oshtemo, or just west of Oshtemo. P size reports there. I will also take note this storm up by Richland is starting to get a hail core on it. A little bit more defined. The hail tracker on this has not updated in 10 minutes, so that's pretty much useless for right now. We'll keep checking it, but in the meantime, I think the reflectivity is going to be the big story here. Good news is the correlation coefficient, CC as we call it, we're not seeing too much clutter in the hail core, which means we're not seeing any larger big stones that are showing up here on radar. Not to say it's not happening, but the radar right now definitely depicts a little bit of a weakening trend with the storm. They went ahead and continued the warning for 25 more minutes. Quarter size hail and 50 mile per hour winds or less is the hazard still. Yeah, I copy. I want to keep note on the northern cell here up in Richland as well, just because that hail core has become more defined over the last couple of scans. I can do that, yep. So I'll go ahead and take this off the screen. There's your wide view. Zoom out. There's your wide view currently on radar. These storms are slow moving, heading to the northeast at roughly 25 miles per hour. One severe warning in the state encompasses 2 counties, northeast Van Buren, northwest Kalamazoo. We have more storms that have formed to the south of us in the Elkhart area, as well back here toward LaPorte and North Judson. Those are also moving our direction on the Michigan-Indiana border. Over here in the southeast part of the state, radar is mostly clear. We have a couple showers, pockets of showers that are moving to the east here in Sandusky, Owasso areas as well. Those are not of concern. The strongest appears to be this one right here, but even that's just a little blip on radar. Not too concerned with that. Over here in Grand Rapids, radar is completely clear. Nothing there on radar for you guys to be concerned about. And then up in the northern lower part of Michigan, radar is clear. Got a couple showers up here by Iron River as well. Otherwise, severe weather should be limited to the very far southeast part of the state. There is increasing velocity with the cell that is warned currently. Could see an increase of some damaging winds there with the outflow boundary. Looks like we have a quarter size hail report out of Almena. Can anybody in chat here verify that? Can anybody verify quarter size hail? I actually see comments there already. So, okay. So we have some quarters reports from you guys here in the Almena area. Checking out the hail tracker here. Still has not updated. It's unfortunate. Looks like we got Alex out there as well. Let's go ahead and check out our chasers, see if anybody's out here, just to see if we have a view on the ground here from anybody over in West Michigan. I don't see anybody. I know Nick's out. I know Alex is out, but I'm not sure if they're live with us. There's Nick. He is not. And there's Alex. He is not as well. So, warning continues for 21 minutes. There is an outflow boundary with this storm. Outflow boundary are cold or cooler winds that rush out of a thunderstorm, and they can sometimes spark additional storms, but usually that's a good sign, meaning the storm is losing strength. So we can see that right there is your boundary over Alamo. There's probably a nice shelf cloud moving in toward Plainwell at Seagull and Allegan areas with this gust front that is pushing out ahead of the storm. The hail tracker is still very old. I have 4 screens now, so I'm going to pop out this and get this up and running so I can take a look at the advanced software here. I'll get this loaded in. A lot of lightning out there, that is for sure. There we go. I want to pop this into the VIL. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's get this up and away, and there we go. Hail core, hail tracker. Looks like the worst of it has weak. I'm going to load this in a little bit better before I say that for sure. It looks like the bulk of this has weakened just enough to warrant the weakening trend with it. There is a low end risk for these storms to be severe tonight. Obviously, you have to have a storm for you to have a chance for it to be severe. So if you're over here in like the southeast corner where nothing's happening, you guys are pretty much all clear. But if you're in front of these storms, anywhere like Berry County up here toward the Charlotte area, Marshall, Coldwater, anywhere in the circled area, you have the most immediate threat for anything severe. But again, low chance that these storms will become severe. This is our second warning of the night. We had one before for the Cass County area. And now our second warning is in effect here for Northwest Kalamazoo, Northeast Van Buren counties. Yeah, when you guys say you have hail in X place or whatever, please be as specific as possible. Is it pea size? Is it quarter size? Is it dime size? Is it $half size? Please be exact with that if you can. The size of hail matters. The best part about this is the updraft of the storm appears to be weakening, but the bad news is the updraft on this storm over Richland is strengthening. They went ahead and trimmed off the warning from Van Buren. So Van Buren County, all clear from that severe warning. There are still storms down here in the Paw Paw area. Keep note of that. But this cell up here has my eye near Richland. This one has my eye just because the updraft is strong. And I bet you once this hail core tracker updates, we're going to see similar to what we're seeing down here. This is an old image, but this is a nice indication that large hail is falling on the hail tracker. And this is old. So this is what it looked like 13 minutes ago over Richland. And I'm hoping this updates soon, but you can definitely tell on radar, I'm looking at the advanced software, the updraft is larger and it's also likely producing some bigger hail as a result. Gotta try and find there it is, the pawpaw camera. This is going to be impacted by another storm here soon. This is facing northwest at Great Lakes Pondscapes in Pawpaw. Got some rain on the camera there, but this is looking towards some more storms that are pushing in to the area. We'll come back to that, keep a close eye on it. The Sturgis camera, looking northwest, is picking up a lot of lightning as well. That's facing northwest out of the Sturgis area at Fawn River HVAC. So we have several eyes on the surrounding storms here, including our chasers, Alex and Nick. They are out there tonight, giving us ground truth. Looks like Alex is up in the Westwood neighborhood. I know Nick was near Alamo, that general area. So they are on the storm, reporting. So that's what the radio traffic you hear behind me. If you hear something, it's likely them talking to me on the radio. Very nice lightning there. Another hail report coming in. Pea size still in the Westwood neighborhood. Let's go ahead and check out the hail tracker and see what's updated. It has not. There's one gripe I have about Radar Omega product. It's that the VIL does not update timely. VIL is the short term for hail tracker. I will go ahead and show you guys this. I'm going to switch this over to the advanced radar I'm using over here. On the right side of your screen, that is your hail tracker. It actually has a marker here for 1.62 inch hail. So that updraft here, like taking a peek at this and checking out the height with it, I am very impressed with the cell that is currently over Richland and Hickory Corners areas. So that is my concern at the current moment. The warning does continue for the other cell to the west in northwest Kalamazoo County. But the hail on that core does not appear to be as potent as the one over there. There's a good look at it. These are both, this is both 22,000 feet here on the scan, and both locations. You can definitely tell which has a better core here. It is this one. So let's go up one more, see if it's actually, that's 28,000 feet. This is probably right at severe criteria. Would not be shocked if we get a statement or a warning incoming for this cell to the east over Richland. And there's your latest scan of the radar, and you can definitely tell there's a nice centralized purple and black pocket between Midland Park and Richland. There's also, I want to say, some very weak rotation being displayed with this cell in the Richland area. I'm going to emphasize very weak. Yeah, that Richland cell does have a little tiny bit of rotation with it. So I wanted to verify that before I said it, but it looks pretty legit to me. So again, we're not expecting anything to be tornadic tonight. Just some weak rotation being displayed there. You can see a little bit of a hook here on radar. We can kind of see that displayed right here, and change this over to velocity. You can kind of see some greens and some reds there. It's definitely not tight at all. Like, it's not going to be, hey, this is going to be something to watch like right now immediately, but it's there. We're going to watch it. Zooming out, taking a look back down here further to the southwest, we have ongoing showers and storms that have been ongoing across Cass, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and St. Joseph counties for the greater half of the past 90 minutes to about 2 hours or so. So this will continue for a little bit longer. The storm movement is northeast at 25, so pretty slow storm movements. Also want to take note that with slow movement, it also could be localized flooding risk as well, believe it or not, considering we've been dry. But regardless, a lot of heavy rain in short periods of time can still cause some localized flooding. Will these storms reach cold water? There is a chance that they do. However, there's nothing imminent. And because they are slow moving, it should be a very, it'll take a while for them to reach you. So either number one, they're going to hold their strength and they're going to impact you, probably not going to be severe, or additional stuff is going to pop up. But right now, I don't see that happening at the current moment. This is also done, so I can box this up. Yeah, there's that very weak rotation there, sitting just south of Richland. It's really not hardly anything to note, but because there's a bit of a hook there, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Like I said in the last stream, the ingredients today, the necessary ingredients for storms to rotate and produce tornadoes, we have very, very few ingredients out there that's going to support this. So this shouldn't be something that should intensify at all. This should just be a brief, storm tries to rotate, falls apart, and can't stay organized situation. Good evening from Portage. Good evening, Shannon. Good to see you in chat here tonight. Just joining us, we are live for a severe storm in Kalamazoo County. Also tracking some stronger storms over Richland in Kalamazoo County. I think the Richland cell is a tad bit stronger, in my opinion, obviously, than the one over Alamo. But still, regardless, in Alamo, there's likely some hail falling, perhaps just to the east of town, between Alamo and 131 there. There it is, latest scan between Alamo and 131. The bulk of the hail core there is now situated over, I want to say this is D Avenue. I used to live over this way. So yeah, West D Avenue and 131 is your general vicinity of the storms. I'm going to take my headphones off because my microphone still works the same way. Lightning in Portage. On the bottom left of your screen is actually a camera on Westnedge Avenue facing west there. So live look from Portage. You can see the lightning down there as well. Latest couple scans continues that weak rotation to south of Richland. Decatur areas off here to the south and to the west in a pretty heavy storm, but currently not severe. We'll take a look at it on the Indiana radar just to verify. Yeah, there's not much going on there. Let's check out the VIL with this. And it has updated finally, and there you go. You can see what I was talking about over Richland. You can see how the western cell has weakened. The eastern cell is now almost maxed out on your hail tracker. So that does verify what I was saying here about 5 or so minutes back. This is going to be just south of M89. Before I actually start going into this, there we go. It is directly over M89 now. Take back our Grand Rapids radar. There we go. Richland impacted as well as Midland Park over here toward the M89 Gull Lake area. Some larger hail definitely falling. Kalamazoo Candy, thank you for the super chat. Says thanks for the live coverage. You bet. If you are new here, we are live for every single severe or tornado warning in the state of Michigan, all 83 counties, from Houghton County in the UP all the way down here to Kalamazoo County in the LP. We are live 24/7, 365, anytime there is severe weather occurring in the state of Michigan. If you haven't followed us already or subscribed on YouTube, feel free to hit the subscribe or like button on Facebook. It'll help us out quite a bit, and you can stay up to date with weather information across the state. Aside from coverage, we do forecast. We do a lot of cool, fun stuff on our page, as well as our YouTube channel, so feel free to follow along. Have some fun with us, but most importantly, stay safe and stay informed. There is a lot of lightning. Yes, that is correct. And the weak rotation does continue with that Richland cell. Let's check out the hail tracker once more. Not this. I want the actual, I was going to say correlation coefficient. Yeah, there you go. There's your hail core. Very potent, showing up there on the correlation coefficient that measures objects in the atmosphere. And you can see anything that's not your typical size, anything that's larger than, say, a raindrop, shows up as this blue and green color. And that is likely larger hailstones falling directly over M89 between Richland and the Gull Lake area. It's not quite to the Calhoun County line, but most of it's basically over South Gull Lake, Midland Park, Highland Park, south side of Gull Lake. The lake itself is right here. This is moving to the northeast at 25 miles per hour. This storm is actually kind of deviating a little bit. It's kind of stationary, but also more of an eastward movement. So that continues. Might want to put Augusta, Level Park, and Bedford on alert just in case that continues to move more so eastern instead of northeastern. But up here into Berry County, we have Banfield, as well as Hickory Corners, Lacey, Vickery Landing, and Assyria. Those will be the immediate impact areas next 20 or so minutes. Severe warning continues for northwest Kalamazoo County for 5 more minutes. I still argue that the one over here in Richland's a little bit stronger in terms of its intensity on the updraft as well as hail size on the hail tracker. No warning on this one, no statement on this one. I do want to take note the hail core on the cell that's currently warned is directly over US 131, heading up toward the Plainwell and Cooper areas along, this is going to be Douglas Avenue. Yeah, Washtenaw is safe. On the east side, there's not much happening on radar over here. Just to ease your guys' mind, there's some showers up there in the Genesee and Shiawassee County areas, as well as the Sanilac County area, but otherwise, all clear for you guys up there. We did have a couple areas on the UP with some storms that were in the Dickinson County area, but this is, again, just showers, not going to be too big of a concern up there. Anything strong or severe should be limited down here tonight in this general vicinity. And I circled up there by Grand Rapids, but there's really nothing up there on radar. Because on pop-ups with this outflow boundary, for example, this is an outflow boundary that happened off another storm. That could pop some more stuff up. But currently, as of, what's the time? 8:41 p.m., there is nothing on radar for Kent County or the surrounding areas. These storms are going very slow, so by the time they get up to Lansing, they should either be just rain showers or completely died out. The warning has now been dropped early. They expired that warning for northwest Kalamazoo County. Still want to argue that the northeast corner of Kalamazoo County has a pretty good storm ongoing. Likely some bigger hail falling in the Richland, Midland Park areas. Hail tracker updated. It has not been. Excuse me. It has not been updated. So we are back into all clear mode at the current time. No warnings, no statements in effect. Still some stronger storms ongoing here, especially across that northeast Kalamazoo corner, county corner, should I say. Fun times in Super Chat says MSC for life. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Ryan, Chasers Mods, for all you do. Appreciate that. Fun times and your support. Will this hit Ionia? No, not this storm. Will Battle Creek be impacted? The answer is by this storm, animate this here, it's kind of just hanging out. It has a little bit of eastern movement to it, heading toward Battle Creek, but overall, I'm going to say the worst of it should miss you off to the north unless it continues to deviate further east and a little bit south. I would say Battle Creek has more potential to be impacted by what's down here than this storm up here. Just texting our chat here, making sure I'm keeping up to date. I am working solo tonight, so keeping a close eye on comments and messages and reports and chats, and I'm doing the whole nine. Battle Creek is watching. Thank you for tuning in here. I do want to take note that this storm has continued to progress, and you can see it's like a backwards, not like a backward, but kind of like a sideways C. That's a little bit of a hook here. And checking out the velocity on this, there is still some rotation being displayed on radar with this storm. So we're going to continue to watch that. Where the reds are going away from the radar, going this way. Greens are going toward the radar, going that way. It's a little bit of rotation in there. It's not strong. It's not imminent, tornado, but it's rotating. So interesting, to say the least. But in the meantime, we'll watch it. It's going to be located directly over, basically over Gull Lake, South Gull Lake, over M89, perhaps just a bit south of M89 toward Howlandsburg and Augusta areas. Again, no warnings in effect was expired. We're going to stay live here. We're going to watch the storm just because there is a little bit of rotation. And also, I think there's some hail still falling with the storm. Otherwise, outside that storm in Kalamazoo County, otherwise across the other areas, we'll take a peek at down here at these two cells. I want to take a look at the wind as well as the hail. One's over Flowerfield, Schoolcraft, other one over Decatur. Wind field with this, weak in nature. I don't see anything wind-wise to be concerned about. The hail tracker is 20 minutes old, so I can't tell you there's no hail with this. I will look on my other advanced software that you guys cannot see currently, but I will check out the hail core on this just to see what it looks like. And the answer is not much happening. So these two cells down here are just general garden variety storms. Not going to see too much out of those unless they intensify. There is a cell that has popped up just offshore of Berrien County. We'll take note of that. Also, these cells down here, the cell that we're talking about for a while heading up into St. Joseph County, this is the remains of it. It is now just showers, perhaps a lightning strike in there as well. Down here in the Kankakee area, this is likely still gusty as it continues off to the east-northeast. And if this holds together, that will likely impact, we'll say, portions of perhaps southern Berrien, southern Cass, and St. Joseph counties. Most of that, though, is currently staying in Indiana. Let's take our attention back up here to really the only storm that would warrant any attention at all, in my personal opinion. The cell that is moving to the east-northeast here over the Richland, Augusta, Gull Lake areas. Rotation continues, very weak in nature. The hail tracker on this, the computer guess, is right around a penny size in diameter. So the hail core on this has come down quite a bit. I want to take a look here at some of our cameras. I'm trying to see which one has the best view. There is a shelf cloud. There is a shelf cloud moving into Three Rivers right now, courtesy of the Safety Glasses USA camera here. This is right off US 131 in Three Rivers, looking directly west here. And that is a very beautiful shelf cloud that's about to push over the camera here. We're going to keep it right here just because there's not too much else going on right now. So let's enjoy this. Let's enjoy the scenery here, courtesy of the Safety Glasses USA camera. And I like this camera. I like the name of the sponsor here, Safety Glasses USA, because it is really, it's not a joke, but it really is our eye in the sky. I like that a lot. Safety glasses, eye, it makes sense. So I love this a lot. So this is, again, Three Rivers looking to the west, right off US 131, courtesy of Safety Glasses USA. This is one of the first sponsors of one of our cameras here. It was like camera number 8 or 9, I think it was in total. So is Ben on? Is he? If he is, I'm not aware of it. Ben is not on. We'll go ahead and check out our chasers just to make sure no one else is on. As far as I know, Alex and Nick were both out, but their streams were offline. At least on my end of things, they were offline. Yeah, no one's out right now. So shelf clouds are indicative, sometimes, not always, indicative of stronger winds. It is cold air rushing out from a storm. It gets sucked up in and then pushed out. And it forms condensation, and that is where you get that shelf cloud look. Probably one of my favorite types of formations. I have a few favorites. I have shelf clouds. Obviously, there's wall clouds. But my personal favorite cloud structure is altocumulus. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Altocumulus is probably one of my favorites. Mammatus is good as well, but altocumulus is just, it's really unique. Asperatus is also pretty cool. We got our chaser, Nick, in chat here says, I am done for the night. Thank you for your service, Nick. I know Nick was out in the Alamo area earlier reporting a wall cloud with that storm, but that's since weekend, so he has retreated back to his quarters. Does what always rotate, Allison? You know, I woke up, I'm seeing some football talk in chat here. I woke up this morning fully thinking it was Lions game day. And I got to about noon. I'm like, they play tomorrow, don't they? So I was disappointed. I was fully expecting to watch a game at 1 o'clock, and I found out it was tomorrow. So, but hey, we're going to beat the Ravens tomorrow, I hope. Lots of wind and rain just north of Three Rivers, XY Avenue, and 10th. Thank you for that report. What's up, Katie? You can ask it in Discord. Yeah, you can go ahead and ask that, Katie. I will say, though, if it's about severe weather, there's really no risk that I see late week for severe weather. So we could have a couple stronger storms tomorrow, similar to today, but there's nothing really coming long term that I see. The shelf clouds, no, shelf clouds do not rotate. Shelf clouds are just indicative of some stronger winds. They cannot produce tornadoes. You're thinking of a wall cloud. Wall clouds are the ones that rotate, and they are sometimes precursors to tornadoes. It is associated with a rotating updraft. That wall cloud comes down, and underneath that wall cloud, it tightens up to a bowl, touches down, and bam, there's your tornado. So wall clouds rotate, shelf clouds do not. Shelf clouds do not produce tornadoes, wall clouds do. Bad weather tonight. We had one warning in Cass County. We had another warning for Kalamazoo and Van Buren County, and that has been the night so far. And now we're just kind of hanging out here. And yeah, not too much happening here on radar. I'm checking behind the scenes here. The hail cores have all come down. The velocities have all come down. Truthfully, we can probably hop out of here and enjoy our night and cross our fingers and don't go back live again later. But I'll stay live with you guys for a few more minutes at least. Altocumulus clouds happen before pattern changes. So if we have like a new system working in next like 24, 48 hours, that's typically when you see them the most. No, this camera is not currently live on our network. It might be in the future though. That was actually what I was doing before we went live. I was actually programming some of our equipment to be installed that's going to push out those streams to YouTube. So I had 20 of them to go, and I still have, I think I have about 16 left. It takes about 3 to 5 hours per piece to program. So there's a lot of work that goes into this. On your screen currently is a western view out of Three Rivers. That is in St. Joseph County, right along US 131. This is a shelf cloud that is about to move over the camera. I am more curious if there's any wind involved. I don't think there is, but we'll see here in a few minutes. Yeah, there's quarter-size hail in Almena, as well as, was it Decatur? Where was that at? Dowagiac, Decatur? Where was that at? Or, there was 2 reports tonight of quarter-size hail. One with the first storm and also one with the second one. Any of these storms that hit Hastings area, there is potential for that. However, severe weather chances are low. Your closest cell to Hastings would be in the Plainwell area. It is a very tiny cell that is pushing slowly but surely up your direction. If it holds together, it will likely impact you in about a half hour or so. And that is a big if. Next weekend, from what I could tell when I looked at the forecast, I posted 7-day forecast this morning. From what I could tell when I looked at models, the weekend should be pleasant in nature. The last half of the week, from about Wednesday, Thursday, and beyond, is pleasant. 70s and sun for most of us. Further north, 60s and sun. I am not watching the U of M football. I am not a big fan of U of M. Let's rephrase that. I am not a big college football fan. It's not that I don't like U of M, I just don't watch college football. The Bears beat Dallas. Makes me happy, honestly. It makes me happy. What does the Battle Creek area look like? Well, let's go ahead and take back radar here for a brief second, shall we? There's your radar. We're seeing some widely scattered storms across the southwest part of the state. Battle Creek currently just some rain showers. It's missing the bulk of every action that we're getting. Now, like I said about 20 minutes ago, I'm more concerned with what's happening down here for you guys up there in Battle Creek than I was this storm right here. This should miss you off to the north, and these will likely deviate and continue off to the northeast and likely impact you here next hour or so if it holds together. And that is a big if. Storms will continue into the overnight hours. Severe threat should be winding down here pretty much from now until we get to later at night. We're losing instability. We're going to lose some ingredients here. So the support for severe weather should not be around too much longer. Yeah, I don't really watch college football. I'm more of an NFL fan. I'm a Lions fan at heart. I'll watch other games as well, but I'm just a Lions fan. I'm not an NBA fan, I'm not a college basketball fan. I am simply just a NFL person. I also follow the Cubs baseball. I'm not a Tiger fan. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I don't hate them. I'm a Cub fan. I've been that way for life. So I will cheer for the Tigers in the playoffs, as I will the Cubs. Yeah, no warnings, no statements in effect currently, and truthfully, I am probably going to hop out of here in a matter of minutes here. I was just kind of waiting around to see if the camera here showed any stronger wind gusts occurring with the shelf cloud that pushed over. And so far, it is pretty calm there. So shelf clouds can sometimes, keyword there is sometimes, indicate some stronger winds. In this case, it does not appear to be the case. It is thundering here in Delton, assuming calm before the storm. Let's check out Delton real quick. So yeah, up there in the Delton area, I'll go ahead and take back the radar here. You are right here for reference. If we animate that, and you consider you're right about there. If we animate it, it may split you. You're going to get rain, but the core of both of these storms appear to be kind of splitting you. What's the risk with these storms? The risk tonight, frequent lightning, heavy downpours. We could have some instances of some gusty winds, perhaps up to 60 miles per hour, as well as some small, perhaps medium-sized hail. I would say large hail is still a possibility, but I think the later we get in the evening, the less the severe threat becomes tonight. So frequent lightning, heavy downpours, small hail, and non-severe gusty winds should be the primary hazards. Can't rule out another severe storm here as we push through the evening hours, but right now, just not seeing that here on radar. What about hockey? I am not a big hockey fan. I am a walleye fan. I used to be a Flames fan. Red Wings are okay. I don't follow it very closely, though. Will they hold together through Lansing? It's possible. Storms will likely continue for a while into the overnight hours, but severe threat should be winding down here the later on we get. So, yes, there is a chance for storms to make it into your area, but I would not expect them to be severe. Yeah, the one in Northwest Indiana, it is falling apart. The one that was out ahead of this is just rain showers now. And the one behind it still holding together pretty good. Let's check out velocity on that. I mean, it's pretty gusty. But that's pushing to the north-northeast here. So Niles could be on deck for that. South Bend, Indiana, Elkhart here, US 31, US 20. That's going to be the general areas of this. But it does appear to be on the weakening trend as well. There's an outflow boundary you can tell that is pushing out and away from the storm. You can circle it right here. That is your outflow boundary. And that indicates that there's outflow winds pushing out, which means weakening. So with this current time, guys, I don't see a reason currently to stay live here. I don't see these storms being severe. The hail cores on them are pretty subdued in nature. The velocity on these storms also seems pretty subdued. There could be some gusty winds up there by Augusta, but otherwise, I don't see much here to keep me tied to the screen to stay live. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. There is no statement in effect at all. There's no statements. There's no warnings currently in Michigan. If there is anything that was in effect, you'd see it on the bottom bar there. If it's blue, that's good news. That means all clear. If it's tan, it'll say special weather statement. It'll have the county scroll at the bottom. If it's severe, it'll be yellow. If it's tornadic, it'll be red. So zooming out one more time here, we have, again, showers continue with storms Northeast movement, about 25 miles per hour. Heavy downpours, frequent lightning, small hail, and non-severe gusty winds are the immediate hazards in any one of these storms. Otherwise, east side of Michigan is all clear currently. Just some scattered, we've got some scattered showers popping up now near St. Clair shores. These are just showers, not really seeing much of anything to be concerned about with them, at least not yet. But again, across South Michigan, Central Michigan, showers and storms possible overnight tonight. Severe weather should be winding down here. I'd say pretty low chance for that through the rest of the evening. There is a threat tomorrow for more storms across much of the state. Repeat day of today. Some could be on the stronger side, so take note of that. Not a widespread risk by any means, but similar to today, could see 1 or 2 storms that pop up and become strong or severe for a brief period of time. All right, with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. One last look at the cameras here just to make sure we're not going to miss anything of note. I'm not really seeing too much of anything here, so I think we're good. All right. Any final questions, guys? While you guys pop those in chat, if you have any, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors once again. Let's shout. I can't talk all of a sudden. We like to shout our sponsors out at the end of every stream. So here are the list of people who sponsor us and also provide services to you guys in the event you need their services after a storm rolls through. We have StormGuard, Roofing and Construction. We have Lifestyle Exteriors. Backing up here, StormGuard's out of Detroit metro area. Lifestyle Exteriors out of the Lansing area. Cat's Roofing and Siding also out of the Lansing area. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding on the Thumb. McKay Tree Specialists in Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care in West Michigan. On Top Roofing, Livingston County. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions and Roofing Solutions across all of Michigan. Shield Public Adjusters for insurance adjusting or claim help needs. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors, West Michigan. A-Class Construction Restoration in Mason County. Rainbow Restoration, our spotlight sponsor of the day, across Kent County surrounding areas. Call 616-583-1234 for any restoration or storm cleanup needs. We have Rapid Radios, our communication sponsor. We have American Arbor for Southwest Michigan, tree sponsor there. Apex Restoration out of Graham Blank. The Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. And lastly, Guardian Technologies out of the Burton area, our Skycam sponsor. All of these sponsors help keep operations rolling here in their own unique capacity. We appreciate all of them hopping on board, supporting us, as well as giving you guys services in the event you happen to need them, whether it be tree service, restoration, or roofing or siding needs. We got you guys covered. All right, let's go ahead and take one last look at radar here. As you can see, some heavier storms continue to be ongoing across Southwest Michigan. These should not be on the severe side much longer, if any at all. Not going to rule it out. If it does go back severe, I'll go back live. In the meantime, I think we are winding down for the night. Current data suggests that we are. And I'm going to hop out of here as a result. Enjoy your night, guys. I hope to see you later on this week and not tomorrow or tonight for that matter. So I'll catch you guys hopefully later on this week with all clear skies. Enjoy your night, guys. I'm going to do so. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm tired. I'm going to hop out of here before I say anything else that's dumb. You guys enjoy your Sunday evening. I'll catch you guys later.